these next two are going to be a bit of a make or break, I think. Oh wow, that was hard. So welcome back to another Alicante half marathon training series episode. This is week 10, and that means we're less than 3 weeks away until the goal race. We've just come off the back of back-to-back races at the Linda Franks 5-mile race and the Boddington 10. We now have 3 weeks, or just less than, down to the main race. So this week was all about recovery from those 2 races, but also wanting to get in a big session midweek, and then there'll be one on the weekend. This week's video will showcase that big midweek session. I'm excited to go through it, show you how I feel, and show you how it went. So without further ado, let's dive in and roll the tape. Right, up on the cycle track, so a quick pause of the watch before we get into this. So what have we got this week? Well, just the one workout. I'm going to complement what we did on Sunday's race today with a bit of tempo work, over-unders again, or on-offs, exactly the same as last week, but we are advancing. Today we're going 4 minutes on, 2 minutes off, and then we'll do something on the weekend that will complement that again, which will be a separate video as the first one next week. But as through the training series, we've basically advanced from like 5 by 3 minutes back, sort of like halfway as the first more specific workout, moved to 8, then we moved to 10 by 3 minutes on, 3 minutes off. So we've gone all the way up to there. The 10 by 3 on, 3 off meant that we had 30 minutes of tempo, and today, of course, with 10 by 4 on, 2 off, more in the reps, less in the recoveries, that means we have 40 minutes worth of work. And of course, just before we do get into this, I want to say a massive thanks to Coros for sponsoring this week's video. They sponsored the training series, and they will continue to leading up to the Alicante half marathon. Absolutely delighted to have had Coros on board throughout this training series to gather the data to help me with my training using the Pace Pro and of course here the arm heart rate monitor. More on that later. Let's get into this workout. Now, as you can imagine, that 10 miler took more out of me than the weekend's race before that, because it's double the distance. So I started off this week with an easy 60, and then yesterday morning I did a moderate 90, and then I should have doubled. I felt so fatigued. I skipped the double last night, so today's going to be interesting. I don't in myself feel too bad, but the legs, they do feel a bit heavy. So we're about 2 minutes away from rolling in. Let's see how this one goes. Right, 2 done, 5:39 and 5:37. Very happy. First float was terrible, and it reminded me to not slack in the floats, because that's half the bloody workout. But yeah, just floating on rep 2 now. I feel like this is a comfortable place to hold. Last week I pushed down to the 520s on 3 and 4. Not sure I'm going to do that today. Legs don't quite feel like that's an option, but I'm actually surprised at how good I'm moving today. Very happy so far. Right, so that's the 4 done, downhill. Absolutely dreading this now. Big uphill. This is the big one. Not sure where we're going to finish up here. I'm hoping before it gets really steep, but who knows. And then, yeah, we're going to deal with the uphill the other side. 1 rep at a time. Oh God, relentless. There we go. That is 5 and 6 done. 6:20 and 6:04, I think. Oh, more hills in those than last week, obviously. 4 to go. These next 2 are going to be bit of a make or break, I think, because they are straight uphill. There we go, 5:48 for rep 7 or 5:47 and 6:06 just coming up there. I just last week dipped into the 5s, but a bit too much hill on that one. 2 to go and we're going to have to divert off home a bit quicker. I have a meeting at 10 and I only literally had an hour and a half to run, and because I stopped the watch at the start to jibber jabber to record here, it means I've only really got an hour and 25. So when we get up here, instead of carrying straight, I'm going to divert off onto another trail to get me a bit closer to home for when the 10th one's done. Let's wrap this up. There we go, 9 and 10 done, 5:50s I think, I don't know. Oh wow, that was hard. So, how did that go in general? Well, basically, I knew my legs were going to be heavy from the race, so I didn't have much expectations. The first 4 reps gave me false hope. I was like, oh, I feel alright. Legs are a bit tired, still hitting good paces. If I back off in the 5:20s and stick in 5:30s, I should have a good one here. Second I got to the top of that hill, the legs felt it massively, and that ended up being the story for the rest of the workout. However, the paces weren't horrifically far off from last time. The last 2 reps were along different places, so I can't really judge them. And overall, that's 40 minutes worth of effort banked. Very happy, and we have a little spicy one on the weekend. So there we go, got that workout done. That was tough, tougher than the last week. I've got to be honest with you, a bit of fatigue in the legs there. Definitely had some false hope in that first bit, but we got it done. Exciting data that I've come back to, which is great. Let's dive into it. But of course, just very quickly, I mentioned earlier, this video is indeed sponsored by Coros. I'm delighted to have them on board during this training series leading up to the Alicante half marathon. The data we're about to look at is all provided from the Pace Pro and of course the arm heart rate monitor, which is not on at the moment. I've been loving using the Pace Pro all the way through training, and of course I picked up the Pace 3 as well before that. The GPS data is absolutely fantastic. You've been seeing through this training block, I've been running a lot on the hills and in the forest, and I've been collecting the effort levels that I've been putting in thanks to the effort paces that I can see in the training hub. Not to mention that, but of course the accurate GPS data that I have never had before. So this is a wonderful thing. And what I also love, which we'll show you right now, is the fact that you can select each individual rep within the training hub, within the workout, and all the ones you select, it will then give you an average pace for just those sections. So I know on that workout that my average pace was 5:51 in total for all those reps, but the average effort pace in total was 5:42. And all these little bits of extra data have added an extra dimension to my training during this block, and I'm thriving. I'm really happy, and I'm delighted where fitness is at right now, and I can't wait to see what happens at Alicante. So I just want to extend once again a massive thanks to Coros for sponsoring this video. If you're interested in picking up the product, if you're interested in picking up any of their stuff, do check out the link in the description below. If you use the code, you'll get a free band with it as well. It's well worth it. It's been a great addition to my running during this block, and I'm absolutely delighted. So once again, Coros, a massive thanks to you for sponsoring this week's video. So as you can see on the screen right now, the average pace for all of these reps that I've highlighted at the top here is indeed 5:51 per mile, but then the effort pace is 5:42 per mile, which is great to see. Of course, 5:42 per mile over a half marathon is not quite the pace I wanted, and of course that means it's just the wrong side of 75 minutes. But to be honest with you, I've had quicker in the previous workouts, and I know this week I was definitely carrying the fatigue. The good thing about this workout is actually the first 3 reps, I was in the 540s, 550s for the effort paces, but then reps 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, I was all in the 530s, which is exactly where I want to be. It was just those last 2 reps I started to struggle, where I didn't struggle the week before. So there's a lot of things that happened this week, of course the fatigue from the races and everything like that, but overall I've got to say, to get those big 5 reps in the middle done with those effort paces, I'm very happy and I can't complain. So obviously after this week we've only got 2 weeks left, but what's left for the rest of this week? We'll do an easy on Friday, and then on the weekend I do have a workout planned. I will do a separate video for that one. That's going to be my last bigger, spicier workout, because in the final 2 weeks I am going to ease off slightly, maybe a little bit more than I normally would. I'm still going to keep the intensity there, I'm still going to keep a lot in there in terms of volume, but I think, like, I feel in myself I've got so much done within this training block. I'm so happy. I don't want to overload things. It's time to start backing off a little bit on the intensity, keep the volume there, keep some chunky sessions in, don't get me wrong, but just start to bring it down. I want to really be feeling fresh when we get to that race week, so that I'm ready to go when I land in Spain. So once again, a massive thanks to you guys for watching this week's training series video. Huge thanks to Coros for sponsoring it, of course. So grateful. Don't forget to check out the link in the description below. And of course, X Miles, if you use discount code FOD10, you can get 10% off all your nutritional needs on their website. I know it's marathon season. I know a lot of us are going through a lot of fueling, especially my athletes I'm coaching. Their long runs are getting meatier, and so there's a lot of fueling going on. If you're looking to stock up, don't forget to use that discount code as well. And other than that, there's nothing more for me to say. If you're interested in hearing more about how I like to structure my half marathons and of course workouts, my favourite ones, do check out this video up here. And if you're interested in seeing the last race vlog, if you missed it, check out this video down here, and I'll see you guys over on one of those.